This week's US CQM Forecast Alert is the economy will slow down in 2025 Q3 and Q4 due to sluggish PCE. This week, we have updated only housing starts in July, so we will show the CQM forecast for 2025 Q3 and Q4. Housing starts increased 5.2% in July, well above the ARIMA forecast of minus 0.4%. As a result, NIPA's nominal residential investment was revised upward from minus 2.86% to minus 0.74%, and real residential investment was adjusted upward from minus 6.02% to minus 3.38%. As a result, real GDP was revised upward to 0.74% on the expenditure side, but downward to 1.61% on the income side due to the upward revision of the GDP price deflator. The CQM shows a gradual slowdown in economic growth in 2025 Q4, with economic growth rates on both the expenditure and the income side falling below 1%. This table shows this week's CQM forecast for personal consumption expenditures. Real PCE growth rates are forecasted to be 0.47% and 0.30% respectively for 2025 Q3 and Q4, which are the main factor behind the economic slowdown. In the price deflator, the decline in energy prices is noteworthy. The inflation rates for 2025 Q3 are forecasted to be between 2.5% and 3.0%, about 0.5% higher than in Q2. In 2025 Q4, the inflation rates are expected to settle down at around 2%. About 0.5% lower than in Q3. Conclusion from this week's US CQM Forecast Alert. The first, the US economy will slow in the second half of 2025 due to stagnant personal consumption expenditure. The second, the inflation rate for 2025 Q3 are predicted to be between 2.5% and 3.0%, about 0.5% higher than in Q2. However, it is expected to fall to around 2% in Q4. There are no signs of accelerating inflation. The third, to stimulate consumer spending, the Fed should cut interest rate by at least 50 basis points at its September FOMC meeting. This slide contains additional information about this week's detailed CQM forecast.